Hi everyone, today I'm gonna tell you each and everything about the cartilage from general anatomy's point of view. Starting off with the definition. Cartilage is basically a connective tissue जिसमें तुमको cells मिलेंगे which is called the chondrocytes, and then the fibers, either it's white collagen fiber or yellow elastic fiber, and there is a matrix जिसमें ये दोनों चीजें cells and the fibers are embedded in this gel-like firm matrix which is rich in mucopolysaccharide. Now some general features of cartilage. Cartilage में you'll see no blood supply or lymphatics. So how does it get its nutrition from? So nutrition will basically diffuse through the matrix and it will reach the chondrocyte, that is the cell of cartilage. And secondly, it is insensitive, that is it has no nerves. Thirdly, the covering of cartilage, which is called the perichondrium, is just like periosteum in structure and function, which is basically the covering of bone. But this periosteum is absent in fibrocartilage, which explains why the regeneration of fibrocartilage is inadequate after the injury. Fourthly, the calcification. When cartilage will undergo the calcification, the chondrocyte, that is the cells of the cartilage, will die and the cartilage will be replaced by a bone-like tissue. Now I'll tell you what is the difference between bone and cartilage. Superficially, if you'll see, the bone is hard whereas the cartilage is firm. That is, it is strong but yet it's slightly flexible. Secondly, the bone has certain inflexible material which is called the osin, that's why the bone is hard. On the other side, the cartilage has chondroitin, which makes it flexible. The bone has rich nerve supply, whereas on the other side the cartilage is insensitive, that is, it has no nerves. Fourthly, the bone marrow is present in the bone but it's absent in cartilage. Fifth point of difference is the growth of the bone is by the apposition, that is, it is by the surface deposition, whereas on the other side the growth of the cartilage is from within. Now here comes the most important part of this concept, that is the types of cartilage. We have hyaline cartilage, fibrocartilage, and then elastic cartilage. I'll explain each one of the cartilage under the headings of location, color, appearance, fiber, elasticity, perichondrium, and then cells. Starting off with the hyaline cartilage, firstly the location of the hyaline cartilage is trachea, thyroid, and most of the arytenoid, और उसके पास में cricoid, and then the epiphyseal plate, and the color of the cartilage is bluish white and the appearance is shiny or translucent, and the fibers of the hyaline cartilage are very thin and they are not visible because the refractive index of matrix and the fibers of the hyaline cartilage is same, so how can you see the fiber? Then there comes the elasticity. The hyaline cartilage is quite flexible, and then there comes the periosteum, it's present in the hyaline cartilage, and the cells in the hyaline cartilage are maximum. Secondly, we'll talk about the fibrocartilage. The one thing that I earlier mentioned, that the fibrocartilage does not have perichondrium. That's why when it's injured, the regeneration would be inadequate. But starting with the location of the fibrocartilage, intervertebral disc, interpubic disc of pubis symphysis, and then the articular disc of temporomandibular joint, sternoclavicular joint, inferior radioulnar joint, and then the articular cartilage of temporomandibular joint, and again that same sternoclavicular joint. The color of fibrocartilage is glistening white. The appearance of the cartilage is opaque. It has mainly white fibers, that is collagen fiber, which are not as flexible as yellow elastic fiber. The elasticity, it is more firm, strong, that is, it is strong yet slightly flexible, not as flexible as elastic cartilage because they'll have the yellow elastic fibers which are flexible, and then the perichondrium, which is absent in fibrocartilage. Now there comes the cell. The cells inside the fibrocartilage is minimum and they would be squeezed in the fibers which are embedded in the matrix of the fibrocartilage. Thirdly, starting off with the elastic cartilage, the location of the elastic cartilage would be pinna, external auditory meatus, eustachian tube, epiglottis, and then corniculate and cuneiform cartilage. Then we will talk about the color. It would be yellowish, and then the appearance would be again opaque, just like fibrocartilage. And then the fibers. Elastic cartilage would have more of the yellow elastic fibers, which are quite flexible as compared to the yellow collagen fiber. That's why the elastic cartilage is flexible, but the fibrocartilage is more firm. And then we'll talk about the elasticity. It is the most flexible cartilage out of three. And then the perichondrium, it is present. Then coming towards the cells, it has moderate amount of cells like in between the hyaline cartilage and fibrocartilage. So this was all about the cartilage. Thank you.